When you went to Colombia, what were some of your favorite places that you went or things that you saw?
So I went to Medellin, and also went to Guatapé, which is like a town outside of Medellin. There's a bunch of lakes and stuff. That was awesome. Getting there was a little bit rough, and getting back was a little bit rougher. But if you don't have crazy travel experiences like when you're abroad, that's just kind of what makes traveling. But yeah, no, Medellin was awesome. Actually, my tutor Maria is from there, and so one night, well, a couple of days, like we went up to her parents. They call it a finca. Basically, it's like a little farm, and basically is where her parents live. And then stayed there and got to experience like just the countryside Colombian culture, which was awesome. So
I think one of my favorites when we went to Costa Rica, we were in Escazú, which is basically, I believe it's actually the like capital city or whatever, but it
mhm.
is definitely one of the more poor cities in Costa Rica. Like I think a lot of times people assume Costa Rica and they're like, oh, like surfing and beaches. And it's like, well, there are parts of Costa Rica that are very city like, and then there are places in Costa Rica that are very much not that. And so I still to this day, CrossFit 506, it was the first CrossFit gym founded in Costa Rica. And so it was, and this was back like 2014 before it was kind of a thing for like CrossFit gyms to be really nice. And so they had these like premium showers and same thing, they would do fresh smoothies. And I still like daydream about this because they would quite literally walk outside, go like harvest whatever fruits they were going to like put in your smoothie and then make it. And like, oh my gosh. There's also, I wish I knew what this place was, but we basically drove up a mountain and we didn't just like people that can't see what I'm doing with my hands. It was like you drove like around the mountain all the way to the top. You didn't just like drive up it, but we ate at this place that overlooked the entire basically like 360 view of Costa Rica. And so same thing. It was like the line would be hours and hours long, but it was just the most beautiful place. And so obviously we have all these like dope like selfies from 2013, 2014. But like I said, it's like that isn't a type of place that we probably would have found on our own. So really it's like the best recommendations you'll get from stuff is usually going to be from people that have been there versus, just kind of trying to Google or like Reddit can actually be a really good place to get
Reddit's
recommendations for travel. And like I mentioned earlier, like Thrillist, something that people could check out too, like especially if you're like, dang, like I don't have anybody to travel with. Solo travel can be really great. We obviously do have to be careful if we're a female, depending on where we're going. But something that Alex and I have kind of talked about was like, do we do Trova trips? So basically what Trova trip is this company will plan trips for you. And so you're able to, like, when Alex goes to Egypt, he's actually going on Jen and Nicole's Trova trip. And so basically you might pay a couple $1,000s, but they plan out everything for you and you're able to travel with friends. So you might travel with, 8 or 10 people. But Trova trip, especially if you don't have somebody to travel with and stuff, I would say check that out because you can go, like our friend Bethany books trips all the time to really cool places. And you're just able to skip that learning curve because it's like you're going to have tour guides. They're going to have an itinerary planned out each day. And usually I think the Trova trips are generally a little bit longer. So they might be like 5 to 10 days, but it's like you could go to places like Bali, like Iceland, and again, have guides, have an itinerary. Like Alex is going to be riding camels in freaking Egypt.
Apparently we're sleeping on a boat on the Nile. So if I get eaten by a crocodile,
really?
this is what's, I mean, like if I don't come back, my ass got eaten by a crocodile.
Oh, that's so cool though. Do you have any, like, what are your bucket list places aside from obvious, like Egypt will be huge for you, but where else do you want to?
So I'm part Chinese and I would have loved to go to China because my family is from China. But my family is actually from Wuhan, where COVID came from.
Wild.
I know. So, like, I would have loved to go there. I know my mom was wanting to go there for years. but I don't think that's going to be in the cards anymore.
Yeah, I
So
was gonna say they are having a tough
yeah,
time
well,
right now.
I mean, we're not. I don't even think we can even go to China unless you
Yeah.
have like good reason to. But would definitely love to go to Japan. And we have a friend there, Bethany. So
Mhm.
I would definitely love to go to like East Asia for sure.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I want to go to all the places that the barrier of entry to me would be as somebody with ADHD and like I'm just not good at sitting, and so even like a 7 or 8 hour flight is really tough for me. So to be like, hey, 30 hour flight, it'd be like, bless it. But I would love to go to like New Zealand, Australia. So many of those places, it's like, I want to go big if I'm going to travel. Like I want to do that. But I would definitely, like I said, it's like, I would need to carefully plan out how I did that. Cause that'd be tough.